Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Inside the Headset. We're finally on even weeks and even games, and we approach tomorrow night. We're at Game 8, Week 8. And I'm with the main person, head coach Philip Shedd Owens. Coach, October 1st, you played Siegel High School, and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, played before fall break, had a big crowd, and had a very physical football game, one of the most physical games we've been in since I've been a head coach, actually. So, very physical game, a fun game to be a part of. They were excited about playing because David Watson's here, and he was the head coach there for 8 years. And so I think they were excited to get to play against Coach Watson, and our kids were certainly excited to get to play against them. So, a game which we played well. We're pretty conservative because we got a 14-3 lead early there in the first half, and so we kind of are very conservative and just made it a physical, nose-to-nose kind of game, and I really liked what our kids did.
Ball control, everything on the field. How did you feel like the Blaze performed?
Pretty well. Made some mistakes, but ran the ball effectively. Tavius ran it for 29 times, I think, for 178 yards. I think
got a good workout.
Which is good for him, and so he performed well. Our offensive line did some good things, and I thought all in all, just overall a really good effort. I thought our defense was dominant. They blocked the punt late with a minute or so left to go, or a couple minutes left in the game, to score their only touchdown. But our defense dominated throughout the game and was the difference in the ball game.
Close the chapter on Siegel, and let's move right along. Last week, you were, of course, during your fall break, and kind of talk to us a little bit about what you worked on as a head coach and what the Blaze did over that little fall break.
Coaches still met during the week some. Wasn't mandatory meetings, but we met quite a bit during the week just to kind of tweak some things, to look at Oakland stuff, to look at Blackman stuff, and just to kind of start the evaluation of Oakland, obviously, and the preparing for that, but also evaluating ourselves and seeing if there's anything we can do better and what we need to do better. Obviously, there's a lot of things we can improve on. So that's what we were kind of looking for, and gave the kids off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, came back Thursday afternoon, had a great practice, and Friday morning again, I had another good practice. So very pleased with what we got done during fall break.
Great. So then that brings us back around. Now we're back into school, and you've had 3 practices this week and then a light practice, I assume, today?
Correct. Yeah, three practices this week. Monday was a really good practice for us. Watched video also Monday night, and Tuesday was the day we had to go in the gym because of all the bad storms we had, and we got a lot of stuff done. I was really pleased with what we got done on Tuesday, considering the circumstance, and then had a great practice yesterday, really crisp walkthrough today, and our kids are tired of practice and ready to play.
And that's where we come to now. My next topic is the Oakland Patriots, and let's start to talk about them and this game, which starts the run of the last 3, and it's the first step, and I'm going to let you take it from here.
Absolutely. Obviously they're ranked number 1 in the state. They're undefeated. Very athletic and talented football team, a well-coached football team. I think Tommy and his staff does a good job and very sound at what they do, and they found ways to win. Even when they hadn't played well, they found ways to win. And so from that, very impressive. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a tough guy contest, and good. We like it that way. So it's going to be 2 teams that want to hit each other in the mouth, 2 teams that want to be physical. One team's going to win. We'll find out tomorrow night about 9:30 who that is.
Well, and they got a dangerous quarterback. Christian Adams likes to scramble around and get back there, and he likes to make things happen, and has succeeded for Tommy here in the early going. And
yeah, he's a winner. Christian's a winner, and that's what I said a couple of weeks ago when somebody asked me about him. I think he has the it factor. I think he's a quarterback. He's just a winner. He's a good kid, good athlete. Obviously, he plays basketball too. He's athletic. He's not looking to run. Christian's not a kid. He can run. He don't look to run, but he just prolongs the play. He avoids some pressures and keeps the ball alive, and they can throw the ball from there. So, he's not your pure straight drop back pass. So they do a lot of things boot wise with him, and they do a lot of things sprint wise with him, and he can stay in the pocket and throw the ball. But he's athletic enough. They want to get him outside the pocket because he can do a lot of things outside the pocket. So, very not the most flashy quarterback, just a really good one. And does a good job. Obviously, everybody knows about T. Mayberry. Buddy Mitchell is one of the receivers. Got numerous receivers that like to throw it too, but seem like a lot of their big plays come from Buddy Mitchell in the passing game. T. Mayberry running the ball. They got the Frazier kid at fullback. Big physical offensive line. Tommy really likes to run the ball. Y'all know that. He'll tell you that. But with this group of kids that he has, he'll spread it out and throw it quite a bit too. So, in that aspect, a little harder to prepare for than just being one-dimensional. Even though they were one-dimensional at times in the last couple of years, but it's still tough to stop them because they were so physical up front. But this year, I think they like to be they like to run the ball, but they like to spread it out and give Adams a chance to make some plays, and he's been successful doing that throughout the year.
Real quick, will he have very many players going both ways, or does he tend to have an offensive squad and a defensive squad?
He has two that go both ways quite a bit, but then he has some others that play some.
Right.
Big defensive end to play a little bit of offensive tackle. And
Right.
they had quite a few of those kind of kids that play some on the other side. But for the most part, Buddy Mitchell plays a whole bunch.
Yeah.
T. Mayberry plays quite a bit of
Yeah.
defense too, and those two probably more than anybody else. But then you got quite a few other kids who play some on both sides of the ball. So not a whole lot different than what we do. I mean, we have a couple of kids that, a couple of linemen have to
Sure.
play more than maybe his linemen have to play. But we don't have many that play both ways all the time, and neither does he. Pretty good depth, I think, and we feel like we've got pretty decent depth here too. So, so I'm very impressed with what they do. It ought to be a great football game. It's senior night for them, which will be
Wow.
a big deal for them, and it's hard to believe it's already that time of year. And even though it's just week 8, this is their last regular season home game, and of course I'm sure they're talking about they want to have playoff games at home and all those kind of things, and they've positioned themselves really well to be able to do that, obviously. So, so it won't be their last game at home,
Right.
But it is their last regular season game at home. So. They'll be excited about that. This has been a great class for them. I mean, a lot of these kids played as sophomores on a state championship team 2 years ago for them, and played last year and on a team that made it to the quarterfinals, and then they're expecting a lot of great things from them this year. So it'll be a challenge for us, but we have a lot of great seniors on our football team. We have Jake Armstrong, Jess Patton, Hunter Thompson, L.J. Joyce, Matthew Stubbs, Blake Davis, Joseph Raby. I can go through a whole list of
Right.
kids that are pretty dang good football players that played a whole bunch last year on the district championship football team, and so it'll be two good teams going at it, and we're the underdog. We'll probably be picked to lose by 14 or 17 or something like that, and that's fine. With us, it don't make any difference. Papers and websites and all that stuff don't play the game. We'll have a bunch of kids on the field at 7:30 tomorrow night ready to play.
And we'll close with this. I mean, the fans know, and we know, and it's very special in this county. I mean, you can't recreate this, and I talk to you about it a lot, and that is this. It only happens here, and we got a lot of competition, a lot of good athletes, and if you really want to see some football, there's going to be one going on tonight. It'll be on TV, and then one down the way, a little crosstown rival you used to be a part of, and that was Smyrna Laverne, and we'll go against Oakland. So it'll be just tomorrow night and tonight, and then the next two, and we'll talk about that next week. Don't want to start. I know how I don't need to be, don't need to go there, but it's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. It's I think this region was picked, or ever how they do that, from Max Preps as the 8th toughest region in the country. That says a lot about what kind of competition there is in this state, in this region. Because we're not considered by college people, we're not really considered a football state. I mean,
Right.
we have some good football players in our state, but we're not considered a hotbed of high school.
We're not.
And so for this region to be picked is the 8th, toughest region in the country by a pretty good little company in Max Preps, that tells you a lot about what people think about this. And if you're going to come into the state of Tennessee, this is
where you want to live.
This is where you want to be. This is going to be big time high school football. I mean, as big time as it gets, and it's going to be great competition. These are kind of the games that players want to play in.
Oh yeah,
This
I
is-
mean you're
this is why you
foaming
wanna
at the
be there.
mouth. I mean you would love to suit up tomorrow night.
This is why you want to be at Blackman.
Yeah.
This is why you want to be at Oakland, because you want to play in games like this. It's going to be a huge crowd, two really good football teams, two physical football teams, and it'll be a great contest. It'll be fun, and we obviously feel good about our plan. We feel like we have a great opportunity to win a football game tomorrow night, and we're going over there to try to do that.
Well, let's wrap it up. We'll head over tomorrow night to Patriot Field at Oakland Patriots. I'm sure everybody will get them a hot dog. 7:30. Oakland Patriots, Blackman Blaze. We'll load up and face Tommy McDaniel. Y'all be there.